Okay, we have Sonia here today for our Assessor Rider Practical. Now what we're going to do first of all is just do a gear check. Now we've saddled up the horse, his bridle and his reins are untangled, they're all neat, there's no wear and tear. How are those stirrup lengths for you, Sonia?
Yeah, they feel good.
Okay, his girth's fine there, the saddle cloth's in a correct position. Okay, once again we're correct here. Okay, would you like to just give me a bit of information about your riding experience, Sonia? Is that working?
Hello.
There you go.
Yeah. Had about 35 years experience riding horses, doing endurance, dressage and showing.
Cool. Okay, now what we're going to do today is, even though you have this extensive amount of experience, we're just going to assess you. We're just going to assess you and make sure that you're confident and capable of handling the horse before we let you off the lunge lead. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on a 20-metre circle on the lunge rein today. So what I'll get you to do is I'll just walk over to the centre here. Okay, just coming around. Okay, now as I work into the centre, what I'll get you to do, okay, would you like to just walk out towards the outside of the 20-metre circle for me? Just using your asking reins and giving me forward driving aids with your legs, so just a slight squeeze, not a kick, just a slight squeeze with your calves. That's right. Okay, are you able to tell me how to do a rising trot? Okay.
Rising when the near side shoulder was going forwards.
Yep.
And sitting when it came backwards.
Okay. Just as you're going around there in a walk, can you demonstrate for me in a walk when you would rise? So actually rise. It is hard. Good. Okay, so what we're going to do in a minute, we're going to move on to a trot. But when we are trotting, and as we're going on a 20-metre circle, we need to apply some aids to help him manoeuvre around that curve, and that way it'll help his suppleness and it'll help your coordination as well. So what we need to do is, when we are working on a 20-metre circle, it's a constant curve. So what we need to do is we have what we call a supporting rein. So that is our outside rein. So in this case, that is your right rein. And so this rein just remains steady, just keeping down on his shoulders with your thumbs up. And that is our supporting rein. Now as you're going around the curve, this rein doesn't move, you keep it steady at the same length, just maintaining a soft contact with his mouth. And now our inside rein is what we call our asking rein. So what we do is we just increase the pressure on that asking rein just by turning our wrist inwards and down, and that'll increase the pressure on that asking rein. Now, with our asking reins and our supporting reins, we also need to make sure we're using these in collaboration with our leg aids. And so our leg aids are the same. We have a asking leg and we also have a supporting leg. Now our inside leg, so your left leg in this case, is your supporting leg. So what we need to do is just need to put your heel down a little bit, and we just need to keep pressure with your calf just on that girth. It's not a kick, it's just maintaining contact. And with your outside leg, what you need to do is you just need to shift it back a bit behind his girth, keeping your heel down, but just increasing the pressure, and that is your asking leg. So as you're asking with your inside rein and your outside leg, you're asking him to curve around inwards, but your supporting leg and rein, that supports his shoulder and that helps him curve around that curve. So say, for example, your inside leg is like a power pole. As you keep that contact with your inside leg, you're asking him to curve around that power pole. Does that make sense? No, that's all right.
It's better.
Just want him to get him moving out a little bit more. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to transition him into a trot in a moment, but to do that we need to give him forward driving aids. So we're using both our legs, so with our calves, heels down, with our calves just behind his girth, giving a squeeze. We're tilting our pelvis backwards, using our back muscles and our abdominal muscles as if we were tilting a chair forward. We're yielding with our hands, so we're just giving him a little bit of room on those reins. So just moving your reins forward a little bit. Squeezing with your calves, and you are just shifting your pelvis forward, so you're moving the weight on your seat bones, and this will encourage him to move forward into a trot. So whenever you're ready, I'll get you to do that.
Come on. Good boy.
Beautiful. Okay, now he is being a bit forward moving, so we might try and slow him down a bit. So what we'll do is we'll just give a bit of pressure on what we call a non-yielding aid. So just a bit of backwards pressure evenly on both reins. Heels down by your girth and sitting in the saddle. Good, that's much better. How does that pace feel? Okay, we just need to try and keep our hands just a little bit steady, just so that we're keeping constant contact with his mouth, and our aids on his mouth are just a little bit clearer. Shorten your reins, that's good. Now a good motto to have is long arms, short reins. And that way you have more control over your reins. That way you can just shift your elbows backwards, and that'll give you better leverage and better control with those non-yielding aids on his mouth, on his reins. How does that feel? Oh, he's right. He's fine with constant contact.
Just sort of focusing on trying to get a bit of bend, but he's
Good. That's better, much steadier with your reins. Okay, we just need to try and work on keeping our inside leg steady. So we're just trying to keep it a bit more steadier on his girth so that it's not moving backwards and forwards. So just put the pressure down in your heels.
yeah, they're probably
Yeah. Do you need to shorten your stirrups? Okay, so I'll just bring him in and we'll shorten your stirrups just to make it a bit... Oh, welcome to my world.
wobbling around.
Yeah, as I said, don't take anything as a criticism.
I'm
That's me being...
You don't learn anything if you get offended by what people tell you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for constructive criticism.
Like I know you're picking up my faults. I mean, they are problems that I have. So all you're doing is picking up what I know is wrong. So you're perfectly justified in picking them up.
Yeah.
And I tend to, start sticking the heels in if I'm not getting a response.
Yeah.
That'll be better. I'll be able to keep my legs steady with them shorter. I'll probably rise too high.
Well, that's all right. Okay, so just moving back out onto that 20-metre circle for me, now that we've adjusted your stirrups. Yep. No, he's fine with the contact, believe me. I've actually put a lighter bit on him than he's used to, so that's fine. You ready? Okay, so we're going to move forward into a trot now, so we just need to use our forward driving aids. So we need to give equal pressure on our calves, just behind the girth. Tilt your pelvis forward as if you're tilting a chair forward, and just yield with your reins a little bit, just to give him a bit more length of rein for him to move into. Beautiful. Yeah. Keeping our hands steady. Just keeping contact with that outside supporting rein, and just a little bit more contact with your inside asking rein, just to encourage him just to bend around that curve and just work the muscles all through his neck and his back and his shoulders. Okay, our inside supporting leg, we just need to try and keep a little bit steadier. So heels down, that's good. Just trying to keep it a bit more in line and parallel with his girth. As I said, like that power pole, we want him to bend around that. So for him to bend around that, we need to try and keep that steady and in the same spot. Quite difficult, I know, at times, especially if he's being a little bit lazy. Good. Hands down. Just trying to keep them steady. How does that feel?
Yeah, good.
He's starting to respond a bit better when you do pick up that contact with your reins. He is used to contact on his mouth, so don't be afraid to increase that contact to get the response that you need. Come on. No, he's being lazy. He tries to stop and go to the toilet. If you feel he is stopping, just increase your forward driving aid, so with your both legs, just give him a bit more of a squeeze. He is used to working into the bit, and he's being a bit of a pig at the moment. The contact you've got's fine, we just need to work on keeping it steady. Okay, see how he's bending his neck there, but he's not bending his body? We just need to try and increase our contact with our supporting leg on the inside. So once again, heel down. And then asking forward with that asking leg, as well as putting that pressure behind his girth to encourage him to bend as well as to move forward. It is. Do you want to try going in the other direction?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're ready, just transition him back to a walk. Good. Okay, so we're just walking back in towards me. God, I'm dizzy from going around in that one corner, one circle. You right? Yeah. You do. You do. Okay, so when you're ready, just turning him back around the other way. Now, as you're going around the other way, we'll need to be on our left diagonal this time, as his left will be on the outside of the circle. And so that also means that our asking and supporting aids will be the opposite to what they were a moment ago. So this time your supporting aids are your inside leg, which is your right leg this time, and your left rein. Okay, and your asking aids are your inside rein, which is your right rein in this case, and your outside leg, which is your left leg. Okay, so inside leg on the girth. Come on, mate. Okay, now when we're riding, we need to imagine that It's an imaginary line that goes from your shoulder through your hip to your heel. And this is a straight up and down line, and this is our centre of balance. So we need to try and maintain that straight horizontal line from your shoulder through your hip down to your heel. Sorry? Yeah. But yeah, the point is me being able to control my lunge, rein. No. Okay, once again, just trying to keep our inside supporting leg parallel with his girth, just behind a little bit, but straight up and down. It's moving backwards a little bit there. Let's just increase the pressure on that heel. Okay, hands steady, just down a little bit. Maintaining that vertical upright line, imaginary line from your shoulder through your hip, through your heel. That's the way, make him do what you want him to do.